you so much, everybody, for this opportunity. For me, it's particularly interesting. The first meeting of Italian presidency is a meeting of listening. It's a meeting in which politicians are not the speaker, the official speaker, the prepared, very traditional way of approach in the official meetings. For me, it's absolutely important, first of all, listen. Also because we have a very, very strategic meeting in October about innovation, technology, and ICT, and so we must prepare this appointment with a few times and a few occasions of meeting, of listening, of debates, and also of ideas, because I think in this moment ideas will save Europe, not limitations. The role of Europe around the world is not a role of association of limitations. It's a space of freedom. Europe will be useful around the world if we make civic this globalization. We are really committed to make more beautiful the globalization. This is the space for you, of Europe. If we speak only about limitations and only about bureaucratic discussion, only about papers with the different point from the single governments, we lost the opportunity. And my personal opinion is that we are really good guys and lucky guys only because we have an opportunity. To have an opportunity today is not easy, but this is our commitment, our challenge. And for this reason, thank you, Vice President Kroes, for your presence, for your leadership, for your vision, for your speech. I think I know this is the final moments of the Commission, but we must work, and I'm absolutely confident about it. We can work in the next weeks and the next months with the same determination together, because this is the time. And so, while we decide the future of Commission, I think absolutely important to continue with your role and your Commission. And thank you so much, Mr. Rifkin. I remember our first meeting in Florence, but my first meeting with you is in my reading a few books, and I think you educated a generation about those fields, those challenges. And thank you so much for your first speech. Let me use just some consideration about this place, this building, Arsenal in Venice. Choose Venice for this event is a provocation, because really with the net, with ICT, we lost, this is my personal opinion, the time and the space. Really, we live every day without past, and we consume the future. We live in a present continuous, online, live, on time, and this is a risk, because we lost the importance of our past, and also we consume very quickly all the future available. So, enlarge the present is a good idea, it's important, but Venice asks everybody to speaking and to think about the past and about the future. This place in the past was one of the most important, Carlo Carraro absolutely explained very better than me, a place of jobs. This is a building, a most incredible building in Italy for the name is Fabbrica. This was a Fabbrica. It's not a place obviously for the ship, but in general a place in which the ideas were connected to building and manufacturing, traditional manufacturing. Very interesting place. Also, we have not only a discussion about the time, but also about the space. Venice is not a normal city. Venice is a beautiful city, clear, but is a demonstration of a city could say word. So for this reason, my personal gratitude to the organizers, because the choice of Venice is a provocation also for Italy. Because if we cancel past and we consume future, we lose ourselves. And discuss about internet, technological approach, ICT in Venice is a good provocation. Federico said a sentence of Leonardo da Vinci, and I remember an expression of Leonardo da Vinci, as a Florentine, really honored for this, in which the expression of Leonardo da Vinci was that, more or less, I didn't remember the correct expression, Cristo è quel discepolo che non surpassa il suo maestro. My translation is absolutely dangerous, but more or less said is the disciple who doesn't surpass his master. So in the relation between past and the future, there is also the dignity of politicians. And for this reason, the first consideration is that my challenge, our challenge as Italian government, as Italian presidents, is speaking about information communication technology not with you, not only with you, not only with the technical experts, because the risk for politician is exactly that. Oh, now I have 2 hours in the discussion with the experts for the ICT, and then there is the life of every day. Now the world is changing. In this mobile, there is more information than in the office of the White House under presidency of absolutely George Bush, but also Bill Clinton. In the 90s, the president of the United States doesn't have the same information of a mobile, a smartphone today. And so, if the world is changed, our challenge is create a place of discussion with citizens to show really concretely the possibility of change with innovation and with ICT. Not only a discussion between experts. If this is true, second point, Italy now is simply the leader for 6 months in the institutions in Europe. It's an important responsibility, we are absolutely proud, but let me be very frank, it's not strategic positions for the next 20 years. The ambition of Italy is absolutely higher, it's more important than that. Our ambition is become the leader, not in Europe of the institution, but Europe of the people. Because Italy could be leader. And this is the ambition of my government. I'm absolutely sure about in the next 20 years, if Italy changes itself, Italy will be leader. But I'm absolutely sure the problem of Italy is Italy. I know there are here a few friends and a few managers who work outside Italy and inside Italy. We spoke in the past about the possibility, the expectations, and also the risks for our country. Now the time is for Italy, in Italy. So, first of all, the change of our country is our priority. I read yesterday an article of the Wall Street Journal, very correct. We must absolutely change ourselves if we try to change Europe. But, and this is the point, I think we combine together this strategy. And for this reason, let me say just a few examples. In the next 1,000 days, from September 1st, 2014, to May 28, 2017, we present a business plan for Italy. A business plan with a countdown in website, 1,000, 1999, 1998, with the list of reforms from constitutional reform. In this moment, the Commission of Senate discussed about a change of Senate, a reduction of powers for Senate. I know, maybe for you it's normal. For a politician in Italy, this is a revolution. We cut 3,000 jobs in political work. We must reduce the number of politicians, and we must absolutely improve the number of startups, obviously, but in general of jobs, because this is our first problem. And it's possible to change Italy if in the next 1,000 days we use technology to change approach in the traditional problems of our country. For example, civil justice. Now we start with the process in the net. The telematic process for civil justice have two goals. First of all, reduce the number of process blocked, 5 million process in Italy, civil process, and give the same time of France, Germany, UK in the timing for the process. Today in Italy is 1,000 days, more or less, 50 days. In Germany is 300 days. So the reduction is possible. This is my public office for the future, because it's impossible to spend 30 minutes to print a document for my identity. If you have the problem of your identity, this is a problem of psychological problem. In Italy, it's a bureaucratic problem, because we must wait more or less 30, 40 minutes to print a certificate of identity. It's foolish. So, in every field, this is a possibility also to fight evasion. For example, with the electronic money, and I think this is a problem with a part of you, and above all, a part of banks. But we must absolutely reduce the bureaucratic approach for money in the mobile. And with the investment in the mobile for money, I have the possibility to reduce the power of evasion in Italy, with one of the recommendations of European Commission. But European Commission apart, with all the respect, this is not a problem of European Commission, this is a problem of Italian people. If I present the reforms as a diktat of Europe, I'm terrible man. If I explain to people, if I pay the taxation, I'm a correct and a civil gentleman, exactly as in the rest of the world, I present a civic ideal shared with all the rest of the people. But I use the technology, and I can continue in this direction very along for jobs, for bureaucracy, for education, for the open government, open transparency. You explain in your discussion about it, and for the culture. It's incredible the approach in the cultural heritage. Look not only Venice, look Florence or Rome, but the museum in Italy, we must absolutely transform. And this is an opportunity to create jobs. Because if we transform the museum from an experience of 2 centuries ago, in which only the rich people went to museum, only the rich people, only the very gentlemen and the young girl were very interested because they studied before to go in the museum. Now museum must be an experience exactly in the rest of the world. I saw a few French people here, and I'm very jealous of the relation between Louvre and Uffizzi's gallery. I'm the former mayor of Florence, and for me it's terrible to think in the transformation, the last 35 years of Louvre with the pyramid and the innovation, and for example, the Italian Museum. So, just a few examples, but I can continue for the next 2 days. And obviously, this is not very elegant for respecting your back. But I believe innovation technology could change Italy. And I'm committed in this fight, first. Because if I simply a man who speak about European institution, but I don't change my country, I'm not believable. And for a politician today, the possibility to be believable is the most important possibility and also the most important asset. Obviously, we have a few things to offer to discussion in European institutions. First of all, just the point, for me, single digital market and single digital authority. This is the purpose of Italy for the next meeting in October Council. Because it's impossible speaking about single market without a single digital market. It's very interesting because Europe was born exactly with the mercato comune, the single market, and if you think about the place, if you explain to young people, oh, Europe is a creation because in the past a few visionary men and women decided to create a place in which everybody exchanges and shares the same products. They think this is a creation of eBay, on Amazon, on the other country, not about Europe. Because the idea of Europe for the next generation, obviously a few companies, but for the next generation, Europe is not simply an economic place. Europe is the freedom of movement. Europe is the same. In my personal experience, Europe was my mother who cried in the TV when she felt the Berlin walls destroyed by the people. For me, for my mother, Europe is exactly this moment. For my son, Europe is Champions League and normal life of every day. Even with my children, I spoke about Germany. In the past, there were two Germany. My children look at me. Dad, you're crazy. No, in the past, the time of change is absolutely interesting and incredible. But now is the moment of a single digital market and a single digital authority. This is the purpose of Italy for the next council. Second, I'm not interested about the discussion between flexibility and austerity, because this is a derby of ideological approach. But let me say, and this will be our proposal in October in the Council, every single euro invested on digital infrastructure must out of the box, must out of the limitation. Because if I invest in a digital infrastructure, I invest in the future. This is not a cost. This is a piece of future. And it's impossible to get out from crisis simply with the discussion, simply with documents. Third, Vittorio said very clearly about the cybersecurity. So this is a problem of today. This is a problem today for everybody, for every company. I agree with the idea of Vittorio about the cooperation between private companies and public government. This is also a piece of opportunity, is a part of the discussion, because in this moment Europe doesn't look two big questions. First of all, the common diplomacy, only one diplomacy, and a common army, only one army. There are two parts of an incredible history. We share the same euro, but we are not the same power in the diplomacy and in the army, in the defense. I think it's impossible in the next months arrive at a very good, obviously, result. But we can invest in this direction. For example, the School of Diplomacy, in which every man and woman who decide for themselves to invest in a career could study together. This is a proposal project not only in Fiesole or in Bruges. So I think we can use the cybersecurity not only a priority because objectively this is a priority, but also as an opportunity to try to work together in this field, with a strategic field, exactly as an economical field. Fourth and last, open government and open data and transparency. Europe decided to invest in a democratic process. I don't know if the choice was a good choice in this timeline or not. I'm very support for an Europe of people, and so for this reason I agree. But you know, last election, May 22, the discussion was between five candidates, five candidates. The candidate of the EPP, Jean-Claude Juncker, the candidate of SPD, PS, Martin Schulz, Tsipras, Verhofstadt, and so a good discussion between five candidates. Nobody won. Nobody won. And so the number, I'm really interested because a part of people told me, you don't accept the result of election. So I'm very proud because my party, I belong a party who was the most voted party around Europe, 11.2 million of votes. The Democrat Party in Italy was the most voted around Europe. So if we discuss about democracy, we are on the table and very committed about it. But the decision to invest in this way, also if nobody won, is a first step of the process. It will be possible only if information communication technology and ICT support with the platform, common platform of open government, open data, open transparency, this process. Without support of ICT, it's impossible to use democracy in this moment in Europe. And this is a provocation, but in my personal opinion, it's true. So, single digital market, out of the box of limitation, the investments in digital infrastructure, cyber security, open government, and open transparency. This challenge is important for Europe, but I use together the change in Italy and the challenge in Europe. Without change in Italy, I'm not believable in the challenge for Europe. And for this reason, dear Nelly, you describe a man, Antonio Meucci. Meucci is a very good Italian, but is also a terrible history, because Meucci is the real inventor of telephone. I'm sorry with American people present here, but also the Congress of the United States in 2002, 2001, I do remember, recognized the founder, the inventor of telephone is Antonio Meucci. Antonio Meucci is an incredible man for a time, who worked in the theater, in the most ancient theater of Europe, Teatro della Pergola. And he was a worker, so he invented the telephone to speaking about in the theater. A genius. So, for few reasons, he left Italy, and he wasn't able to use the copyright license, come si dice brevetto, license in 71, 73, I didn't remember exactly. So Graham Bell arrived, and in the history, he was the founder and the inventor of telephone. So the relation with Meucci is a good relation, but it's also a risk for Italy and for Europe. Because for a businessman, it's clear, we must have a good idea, but we must also have a commercial and a marketing structure. Because the idea without marketing and commercial field structure, the results are not good. But for a country, this is also the representative. We don't permit everybody to make the same conclusion of which. If there is a good idea, we must absolutely fight for this idea and defend this idea. E permettetemi, concludendo semplicemente per ragioni di televisione, sorry, but I have the Italian journalist and for the TG and for the speech in the TV, permettetemi di dire una cosa in italiano per chi ci sta seguendo in streaming e manderà queste immagini dopo. L'Italia ha una grande occasione e l'occasione dell'Italia è fare l'Italia, smettere di piangersi addosso e provare concretamente nei 1000 giorni che vengono a cambiare faccia, anzi, per dirla con un'espressione da tecnocrati e tecnologici più che tecnocrati, a cambiare interfaccia. L'Italia deve cambiare faccia e cambiare interfaccia. Per farlo noi stiamo mettendo tutto ciò che possiamo mettere in campo, noi faremo le riforme che abbiamo promesso a livello istituzionale, ma la prima riforma è creare spazio e posti di lavoro per i nostri ragazzi. Oggi il settore dell'innovazione non è un settore per addetti ai lavori, non è un settore per alcune persone che si limitano a smanettare su internet, è il settore che crea più posti di lavoro nella storia dell'economia internazionale. Allora l'Italia deve avere il coraggio di smettere di piangersi addosso e provare concretamente a cambiare, sia nella parte interna, la burocrazia, la giustizia possono essere aiutate dall'innovazione tecnologica, sia anche, lasciatemelo dire, dalla capacità dei nostri ragazzi di iniziare a far crescere le idee e smettere di pensare che questa sia la terra dove non succede mai niente, perché l'esperienza di tante persone che sono a questo tavolo dimostra che invece in Italia le cose accadono e accadono anche in modo molto affascinante. Per tutti questi motivi, grazie di cuore di essere stati a Venezia con noi e adesso, come spesso accade in questi momenti, tocca al politico. Now is the time to eat the lunch, and for Italian politician is absolutely crucial to say now is the time of lunch.